Good morning. Hello. We're about to wrap up chapter one here with lesson four regarding computer origins. And it's really fascinating how they were able to create and come up with these computers. And really, computers have been with us thousands of years. We just didn't recognize them as computers because they don't fit what we see a computer as today. So let's take a few minutes, let's watch this video, and then be prepared to go even deeper with this. Really soon, we're going to have a major activity and then our final exam for this chapter, which ties in really well to the end of the 6 weeks. So take a deep breath. We're going to wrap things up. We're going to bring things together, but pay close attention.
While there are many interesting early devices that might have been called a computer, the first generally accepted computer is the Eniac, which stands for Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer. The Eniac was created in the 1940s at the University of Pennsylvania, and it was quite large. The Eniac was 80 feet long and weighed 30 tons. Its main jobs were to calculate artillery firing tables, making atomic energy calculations, and predict the weather. A key feature of the Eniac was its programmability. This means you could change how the Eniac processed information by changing many wires and switches within the hardware. As you can imagine, this was quite a difficult task. Any changes to the Eniac's programming required many days of careful planning and hard work. The first major improvement on the Eniac was proposed by Dr. John von Neumann in 1946. He suggested that computer programs could be stored in computer memory, right alongside the data. You could then change the program in memory, without having to crawl around rewiring things or flipping a bunch of hardware switches. This von Neumann architecture is the basis for modern computers, and even the Eniac itself was changed to incorporate his ideas. The improved Eniac could be reprogrammed in hours instead of days. The Eniac was still a very large, hot, expensive piece of hardware, even with a von Neumann architecture. We needed another technology leap to replace the old vacuum tubes that were used to handle the electric signals. The transistor arrived in the 1950s and replaced these bulky vacuum tubes with a smaller, cooler, faster, more reliable device made from semiconductor metals. Engineers soon learned how to integrate many transistors together into larger circuits to perform specific tasks. These integrated circuits continue to grow in complexity and power today, forming the heart of modern central processing units, or CPUs. Technology changes quite rapidly. Computers that are powerful today will seem old and slow by next year. A man named Gordon Moore in 1965 reviewed the improvements in technology up to that time, and observed that integrated circuits seem to get twice as powerful about every 2 years. This observation is called Moore's Law, and still today seems to reasonably predict the pace of technology change. Moore's Law means that for a given size circuit board, engineers will learn to pack twice as many transistors onto that board as they did 2 years ago. Increasing the density of transistors within a given area allows us to make devices that are more powerful or smaller. Moore's Law isn't really a law like the law of gravity that must be obeyed. It's just an observation about how fast we are improving our technology that has held up very well over the last 40 years. Moore's Law seems to also apply to some degree beyond just integrated circuits. Other aspects of our computer, including hard disk size, available memory, and CPU speeds, are also improving rapidly. Today, our ability to make very small, powerful computer circuits means that they can be spread everywhere, from your television, to your MP3 player, to your cell phone, to your car. Nearly every aspect of your daily life relies on computing power of some sort.
There you go. That was a good definition and explanation of the history of computers. I will like to mention that I talked about computers being in as part of our life for thousands of years. And actually, it's referred to as the Chinese calculator. Take a moment to look that up because really they consider that to be a computer, the way you're able to calculate math using the Chinese calculator. It's really fascinating that it was thought of so many thousands of years ago and can still be used today. So take a moment, look that up. That would be a great test question. We're going to pause this video, take a deep breath, uh, wake up, get a drink of water if you can, and then we'll move on to our next video. If I can get this one to, there we go.